Welcome back. This video will be a short introduction to scikit-learn or sklearn as it's commonly known. We'll be using the sklearn throughout the course, and hence this video will be a quick overview of some important modules and functions in the scikit-learn library. So to start with, we have already worked with pandas and numpy for data cleaning and data manipulation. We have also used matplotlib to create various plots during the data exploration section. And now we'll be diving deeper into the model building part, where we'll make use of scikit-learn library. So let's see what are the different areas in which we'll be using the library. First of all, scikit-learn is used for pre-processing tasks such as data normalizing or scaling the features. We also use it for converting the categorical variables into numbers, which is known as encoding. And to perform any of these techniques, we need to use the following command. So we need to import the required class or function from the sklearn module. So we use this command. We use from sklearn, which is the library, dot the module name, which is, for instance, here pre-processing, and we import the required class, which is min-max-scaler here. Now, to give a brief overview, min-max-scaler is used to scale your data and bring down all the values between 0 and 1. sklearn has another module called model selection that is used to perform tasks like creating the training and the testing data using the train test split, and it can also be used for creating a validation set and performing the parameter selection and so on. We'll discuss about each of these techniques in the later modules. For now, let's just understand how to use any of these methods using sklearn. So we use the same format that we saw previously. From sklearn dot the module name, which is model selection in this case, we import the required function. So train test split, as the name suggests, is used to divide the dataset into two parts. One part is used for training the model and the other part is used for testing the model performance or evaluating the model performance. Furthermore, sklearn is commonly used for model building, and sklearn has modules for linear models, ensemble models, clustering, and so on. Now, for implementing any of these algorithms, all we have to do is use the module name, which is linear models in this case. Similarly, if you want to work with KNN, you'll use the module neighbors. So we'll write sklearn.module name, whichever is our module, ensemble or linear or neighbors, and import the required class. So in this case, I've shown the example with linear regression. Finally, sklearn assists you for evaluating your model using a module called metrics. So you don't have to write the code block or define your own function to calculate the accuracy and the error, etc. Although you certainly can do that, but sklearn provides a bunch of options to make your work simple. So we have the module name metrics in this case, and we import the required function. So if you want to calculate the accuracy, as in case of classification, you can use the accuracy score. Similarly, you can find the mean squared error or the mean absolute error, etc. in the module metrics. In all these cases, whichever function or class within the module you want to use, you need to follow the following steps. So we first import the class from sklearn module, then we create a class instance and assign the inputs and required parameters to this instance. So let's move to the notebook and understand this better. So in this notebook, we'll look at the few modules that we just discussed. So I have a few commands here. First of all, we import the required libraries, which is pandas in this case, and we'll use pandas to load the dataset or to read the dataset. So we use pandas period.read_csv function and given the dataset name, which is train_bm in my case. So this is the BigMath sales dataset. And here are the first few rows. So as you can see, we have the features, item weight, item fat content, visibility, item type, MRP, and so on. And we have the target variable, item outlet sales. Now, before we train the model, we need to tell the model that these are my features and this is my target variable. So we need to store them in two different variables. And I'm using features here to store all my features and target here to store the item outlet sales. Now, let me just run this cell. So suppose I want to build a KNN model over this. All I have to do is I'll use the sklearn library, and then from the module neighbors, we'll import the KNN class. You don't always have to remember the complete names of the classes or the function or the modules that you use. So for simplicity, Python has a very unique feature wherein if you press tab on your system, it will give you all the options. So from the sklearn module, these are the following class and functions that we have. So what I need is KNN regressor, which is right here. So I can simply select this, and here we go. Now the next step that we discussed was to create an instance for this class. So for that, I'll store this in a name KNN, and here I'll write the complete KNeighbors regressor. And in this way, we create the instance for a class. Now within this, there are various parameters which we can assign. So again, you have to press Shift Tab and it will give you the details of what are the parameters you can set. So these are the parameters for KNN, and just run the cell. Now the KNN class has various functions. So if I use knn.fit, it's a function we use to train the model. Similarly, we can use knn.predict, which is used to make predictions after you train the model. And similarly, KNN has various functions. So you can see here we can get the parameters that were used and get the metrics and metric parameters and so on. So these are not really important right now. So if I say I want to train the model on the features and the target that I have set, I have to give this model, let's just see what are the values that I can give to this model. So I'll press Shift Tab here, and it says give X and Y, using X as training data and Y as target values. Right, so my training data would be my features here, and my Y would be target. So I can directly use this. And now let's try and run this cell. So this gives us an error. And why is that? It's because we have a string supermarket type 1, which the model could not understand. So basically, one issue with sklearn is that it cannot work with strings. So all the models in sklearn do not support strings. And another thing, you cannot use a dataset which has missing values. So before you implement any algorithm, before you train any model, you need to make sure that your dataset does not have any missing values and it does not have any strings. Now we'll discuss about that in the next video. For now, if you want to use a class KNN, you have to import this from the module neighbors and from the library sklearn. Similarly, if you want to see the model performance or the model accuracy, we just saw we can use sklearn.matrix in this case, and then import the required evaluation metric. So let's see what are the possible options that we have. We have accuracy score, we have AUC, average precision score, and so on. So there are various options. Let's say I want to use accuracy score for now, and here it is. Now note that accuracy score here is a function, while KNN here was a class. Now let me just clarify how is that different. So you cannot directly use kneighbors regressor. So in this case, you cannot give in your training data and your features and train the model. You need to use the function .fit. So KNN has various functions within this, and hence this is called a class basically. Whereas in case of accuracy, within accuracy score, you have to simply give in the two values, which are your true predictions and what are the predictions from your model. So accuracy score does not have any functions. This itself is a function, right? But kneighbors is a class because it offers multiple functions to you, which are .fit and .predict and so on. So that's how we can work with sklearn. It's extremely simple, and you don't need to know this concept of class and functions as well. Now we'll be using sklearn throughout the course, and while working with the projects, etc., you'll get familiar with this. Thank you.